Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. They're almost certainly not going to strike down the tariffs. They're going to back President Trump, and they're going to back President Trump almost certainly regarding all the tariffs or all the ways IEEPA can be used. U.S. trade negotiators to the Supreme Court understands enormous stakes in tariff case. Reuters. The reason here, ladies and gentlemen, is that IEEPA allows the regulation, allows the president to regulate the importation of goods, and also investigate, regulate, or prohibit any transaction. There's a million things you could do within the text. This is Cornell Law School, IEEPA. Presidential authorities within IEEPA. He can do a whole lot. And yes, it's an emergency. Yes, it's foreign policy. And yes, the revenue generated has nothing to do with, it doesn't interfere with congressional, the separation of powers between the executive and legislative branches. Okay, but anyway, check this out. This is huge.
Greer, who was in court today. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. So the press seems to, indicate that the court is inclined to at least limit the president's authority here. But it all comes down to what the power to regulate imports consists of, correct? Whether it consists of the tariff, tariff ability, whether that's part of the definition.
That's right. The court was grappling with that language, and I think generally speaking, both the justices and even the litigants, everyone agreed that this appeared to be quite a broad grant of authority. The term regulate can incorporate quite a bit. And so when you hear the questions from the justices, some people say they're skeptical. I mean, their job is to ask questions, right? And I would say they were tough on the government, but I think they were tougher on the plaintiffs on this issue because the term regulate is so broad, and the quintessential way of regulating imports is through a tariff.
Imagine spending your entire lives stating that regulating imports doesn't mean tariffs. Like ordinarily that would mean tariffs. It's just that President Trump has to regulate imports, and he's imposing tariffs, and that's bad, because Trump bad. So regulated imports means tariffs. It doesn't have anything to do with Congress and legislation on taxes or the power of the purse or, upending the separation of powers between the executive and legislative branches. This is on the world stage, preventing illegal narcotics from coming into the country, addressing issues that could bankrupt the country, imposing leverage to enforce U.S. national security on the global stage. It's a foreign policy component. The IEEPA statute that Congress passed allows the president to regulate importation of goods, and the revenue has nothing to do with being a tax. It's not. The words tax and tariffs are different for a reason. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. This is huge. They're taking a long time for a reason.